Cool, guys. Yeah, we're going to kick off now. We'll have some people probably still coming in, but that's all right. They can catch up on the replay. But I want to welcome everyone here. Thank you so much for jumping on. If you've been here before, you know what we do in these workshops. If this is your first time, by all means, just leave a yes in the chat here, or just leave a link to your website, and we'll kind of get to it throughout this workshop session. But if you are here for the first time, what we usually do is we go through what is working for us when it comes to building e-commerce stores right now. So just to be completely frank, we work with a lot of e-com businesses ranging in size, varying niches, and we have kind of created frameworks and strategies that are working right now that we use to help grow these businesses. And that's what we're going to be going through right now, is how we're doing this day to day. And then also what we really try to do is give a lot of feedback throughout. So there's going to be plenty of chance for you guys to get direct feedback from Paul. Paul's the one who runs the show. I'm just the guy that does the intro for him on the workshops. But yeah, he's nice enough to give about an hour or so of his time every Wednesday to get on everyone who's in the group a chance to get some feedback directly from him. So let's jump into it. Cool. So 3 must-dos. We really encourage you guys here to lock in at least 60 minutes here. Sometimes they go over time because we just like to jam a little bit if we're having a good time, and that's no problem if you need to leave a bit early, but try to make sure you're able to really lock in for the next 60 minutes because there is a lot of value. We want you to get the most out of this as possible. If you can, turn on your webcam. It's just nice for us to see faces when we engage, and also have a chat. So there is the Zoom chat function below. Just if you have any questions or you want to unmute for a second, just let us know first. We'll bring you on. You can unmute, and then we can kind of go from there. Or if you just have questions in general, leave them in the chat, and we'll kind of get to them throughout the session. So the goals for today, what I want everyone to leave with ideally from today is to understand how to actually convert browsers into buyers. So obviously a lot of us probably got a website that is maybe seeing traffic, maybe not, but even if it is, we want to make sure that we're actually turning those people into people who buy from us, not just visit us. We want to nail paid ads. This is kind of very similar. You might have a really lovely website, but you're not able to figure out the traffic side of things. We're also going to touch on how to do that side of e-commerce. And then just in general, we want you to come away with a pathway to profit. So ideally, when you leave today, you'll have actionable steps that you have to work on in your business to start seeing more orders. Obviously, it doesn't matter what size you are. What we teach here today is very applicable to many different niches, many different sizes, as it's what we do every single day in the e-commerce circle. You've probably heard us speak about at some point. And a lot of the time people have questions when we do chat about this stuff, about the advice we give. And it's usually, in general, it's like, will this work for me? Obviously, a lot of people have taken in information from, interesting sources on YouTube or things like that. You've tried stuff, spent some money, failed, wasted a lot of time. And you're like, is this stuff that we're telling you going to work for you? Because otherwise you wouldn't be here. So it usually breaks down into 3 things. It's usually, is it going to work for my niche? Because, we've done this for toy stores, chocolate businesses, but you run maybe like a lamp business. Is the same stuff going to work for you? Yes. If it's e-commerce, it's going to work. There's just minus a few taboo niches that we don't really step into, but we do this across so many niches, guys. If you're running an e-commerce business, this is most likely going to be effective for you. Is it going to work at my size? Again, very similar. The strategies that we teach here, it's the same no matter what size you are. It's just the level at which we apply it varies. So obviously, if you're making $100,000 a month in revenue, it's the same foundational strategies, but we're just being a little bit more, you could say, granular with it. We're looking into a little bit more detail, and there's a little bit more advanced stuff that goes on with that. But it is, in essence, the same stuff that we teach the people who are just starting out, making maybe 10K per month. And also, will it work now? We're not teaching stuff that used to work in 2017 when Facebook ads were, just first coming around and everyone could make money off any crappy products. This is stuff we're using right now every single day. There's actually a couple of people in this call who are already doing this stuff with us. They could probably at some point vouch for us. You can ask them yourselves, what is it that we do, and does it work for them? And the answer is yes, it works today. Go to the next. And who is this for? I'll try to get through this quickly because I'm sure all you guys already have this in common, but this is for people who are passionate about wanting to sell something online that they really love, that they think is great for the world, and they genuinely want to see it grow. We're not really here to help people who just want to sell crappy stuff that's maybe bad for the environment or just ends up in the bin in 2 weeks. Not really what we're about. We want to work with passionate people because they're honestly the most fun to help. and they get the best results in the end. You're probably feeling overwhelmed. A lot of people you've probably gone to e-commerce, maybe understood the challenges, maybe not, but you found out that there are so many aspects to e-commerce to cover. It's like, how do you become a master of each? Short answer is you don't become a master of each, but we're kind of going to show you the main things you've got to get a really solid understanding over to really grasp this journey that you're on. And it's going to be super important when it comes to like figuring out your growth plan moving forward, and it kind of takes away that overwhelm. And lastly, like obviously we're in business, we want to make money, and we don't want to be giving it all to the ATO. So this is for people who want to be in e-commerce and want to legitimately turn this into a proper business that can supplement their lifestyle and just help you live like a pretty nice life that you can build your life around a business. Sorry, build a business around your life, not the other way around. That's kind of the whole
Let
goal.
me add something to that too. We actually have a lot of people. We have a lot of people in our ecom circle who have ecom businesses and still have jobs. There's some people in there that are doing a couple $100,000 a month and they still have full-time jobs as well, right? So again, the stuff that we teach on here is, super flexible. Some people, they only have to dedicate a couple hours a week to their ecom business and they're crushing it. They go to work and they're making another, $15,000 or whatever at their job. And they're like, great, cool, making tons of money here, tons of money in ecom, because I'm seeing a lot of people kind of flowing into the ecom space, and a lot of people just go like, I'm like, why are you getting in there? And you go, well, it's getting harder and harder to get a job, right? So at least if I control my own destiny and I control my own business, then it's a good option for a lot of people too these days. And that seems to be becoming a bigger and bigger trend, like week on week at the moment. So yeah, it's really interesting.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So Paul doesn't like doing this bit. This is why I do it for him. So it's kind of like a little bit of a gloat. Why should you listen to Paul? You probably heard a lot of information out there, and you don't really know, like, should you be trusting this person? Is your question. Like, why should you? And well, the reason why you should listen to Paul is because he doesn't teach theory, although you could call it theory, but it's all practice and it's all from experience. We do this day in, day out. So Paul runs an agency called Insightful, full-scale e-commerce agency. We build websites, things like that. We do that like probably about 100 websites a year. We also run the e-commerce circle, which is a private coaching community for e-commerce business owners. So we are literally doing this with probably up to 100 brands every single day using these same strategies. So what we teach, it is not by any chance, it's not just theory. What we think might work, it is what is working for us. He also has extreme experience in actually doing this at a high level. He built Warcom years back before Shopify was a thing, when internet was in its infancy. Did about 40 million sales, sold it to an ASX listed company. He's been through it all, and this is kind of like how we come up with what we share. It's from that experience. So yeah, I've probably already gone through that last bit about the agency and the circle, but he's been around the block. He knows what he's doing.
I don't think you were even alive when I started Warcom. 1996.
Don't think I was.
No.
On the same year.
It was a good year then.
Yeah.
So
and just a little bit of other stuff. So obviously, build ecom brands at print money. I mean, you can read through these quickly. It's just a bit more bloating, but we don't even spend too much time on this.
I've sold a lot of good products along the journey. I've sold a lot of crap products, so I don't sell any crap products anymore. Figured out all the hard stuff that you guys are going to waste years of your life on. The amount of people that I speak to weekly, and they're all like, I'm onto my 9th Shopify site and my 15th agency, and I'm blah, 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 blah. I'm like, I've done all of that and figured it all out. And that's why I'm like, nice to meet you today. Here's how you actually do it. So, because I'm mindful so many people get into this space, chucking a lot of money into trying to figure this out and never figure it out. Go from agency to web developer to, Raj on Fiverr, who's going to fix your website for you. And like, this is not good, So, yeah, I don't know why I'm still in the e-commerce space. Maybe I secretly like it, but all I've ever done is e-commerce basically. So
I think you might.
There you go.
Good thing is though, like all that stuff that Paul's been through, that he's kind of like learned over the years, that is how we come up with the things that we teach. So just to really hammer home that this is all real stuff. It's how we get results today. So quick couple things, like just to show you some stuff that like we're not, this is all real. These are just case studies from people who are actively working with us right now. This is Chris and Sarah Haynes. They run Toybox Tales in Melbourne, lovely toy store. I think they just, this is kind of old, these results up here. I think they just did 300K for November, I believe, or over the last 30 days, they've managed to crack 300K. Huge achievement for them. They also managed last summer to take a week off over the summer to take a trip with their family for the first time in years, just because they had a business that had a lean team with good systems, good marketing in place, a good website, and they built all the things into the business so that they were able to step away for a bit and actually, smell the roses a bit, which is very important to us. We don't want people grinding in front of the laptop 16 hours a day. It's, we all got families, we have other things that we want to do, and that's important to us that we can still do those things while we're on this journey.
I have a feeling when they started, they were averaging like 30K a month
It was,
or something. Chris and Sarah.
it was close to that.
Yeah. And like I spoke to Chris early today. He's like, we crushed Black Friday. He goes, sorry, I haven't seen you because we chat all the time. He goes, sorry, dude, I feel like I've, neglecting you. I haven't seen you in a week. He goes, because we pumped out like 3,000 orders or something. So,
yeah, they were busy.
In the last, you're like, that's a good problem to have. So anyway, good luck packing
I think
orders.
Laurie, who's in this call right now, he said that last week. Like, he's like, what am I doing now? I got all these orders.
Yeah, he sent me a message, excuse the French. He's like, dude, I've got a problem. How do I fix this fucking problem? Sends me a photo of his printer with all the orders rolling out. I'm like, well, pack faster. So good problems to have.
Another one, Landon and Norel, another awesome couple. So they actually are nomads, and he runs an off-grid business selling solar panels and things like that. That bus over there, we've seen in real life. He's come down for one of our retreats, and I've been inside of it. That is actually their house. They move around that thing while they run this business. It's pretty awesome. They do, some pretty cool things as well. So quickly, there is an unhidden agenda. Obviously, look, Paul has pretty limited time, and he wants to make sure he reaches as many people that he can help as possible. And that's why we run these workshops, so we can help as many people as possible. But obviously, look, we do want to ideally work with everyone at the end of this. That would be amazing. Absolutely, if you don't end up doing anything with us, completely fine. We still hope that you can walk away with actionable steps for your ecom business. But I just want everyone here to kind of know, and if you can give me an answer, yes, if you're okay with it. We do have an offer at the end of this that we want to just give to you. We just want your permission. If you can leave a yes in chat, that'd be awesome. And then at the end of this, after we've done everything, we'll just kind of run you by that offer. So if you're comfortable with it, guys, please leave a yes in chat, because I don't like, pitching things to people who aren't open to it. Awesome. Thank you, Justin. Yes, Jess. Awesome. Thank you. Couple yeses.
Justin, it'd be worth your while.
Beautiful.
Stick on to the end and you'll see what it is.
Beautiful.
So,
all right, cool. Thank you very much, guys. Cool. So a couple of things to just understand before we get into. It's good to kind of break yourself up to these rough numbers just to understand where you are kind of in your journey in e-commerce. So there are sort of 4 stages. These are very rough. Startup is kind of that 0 to 10K per month mark. Setup is at 10 to 25K. Grow up is 25 to 50K. Scale up is 50 to 200K. Only reason we separate these a little bit is because, like we said earlier, the strategies all work. It's just the level at which you have to apply these will be a little bit different. So if you're going to share your website, please share also what level you're at here. And that way we can kind of tailor the feedback we give to you based on what size of business you are, because everyone's going to have slightly different problems. So just keep that in mind, guys. One last one, guys, is Regan and Dan. Awesome couple. They run a boutique sauce business for steak sauces. They're really nice. I had one myself. I tried it. It's beautiful. But they came in doing about 10K per month. We literally fixed their website and then just fixed their digital marketing. And they, within, I think, 2 months, were hitting 50K months pretty quickly. And these were guys who were like not sure how to grow their business at all past like the market level. They were just going to markets and like, we want to do this online because we know the product's awesome. And we kind of just jumped in there and helped them to make that switch over.
The problem they now have is that because they make the sauces themselves, they can't keep up. I spoke to Dan and Regan yesterday, like, again, sorry, I haven't seen you for a week or 2. But we're spending 15 hours a day cooking and delivering, and they're trying to get a bigger warehouse and trying to get a bit of factory and bigger production facilities. Like, it's a really good problem to have, but we're cooking a lot of sauce. So if anybody wants to help them cook some more sauce, maybe towards the end of it, people who engage throughout this, I'll give away some cool prizes towards the end of it for those that do engage, those that do post stuff in the comments. If you don't, then you're not going to win anything. But those that do, you might get some fun stuff. Might be $100 voucher at their site or something. So when Chris goes, hey, can you chuck a comment in the thing for me? Feel free. If you like presents, feel free. So.
No problem, Emily. Thanks for sharing that. That's completely fine. If you don't know exactly where you're at, obviously, like it's not set in stone. Just give us what you roughly think, and that's no problem at all.
That's cool.
Yeah, but look, so we're not going to bang on about this anymore. Obviously, we could give you probably hundreds of these. We are going to move on to Paul, and he's going to start going through the strategies. So hopefully, these problems can be your problems as well in the next few months. But yeah, I'll hand it over to you, Paul.
Alrighty, hang on. I'll just bring up the slide now. So 2 seconds, share my screen. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Let me know if you can share my screen. G'day, Mr. McLean, looking very chill there. Thanks for joining us.
Just had to straddle in from the beach, mate.
Oh, fair enough then. Righto.
Just sitting by the pool. I thought I'd come and hang out with everyone.
It's all right. I've got 27 brand strategies ready for you to go when you come back. Oh, good.
Yeah.
There you go. Here we go. Share screen. Cool. So what we're going to talk about, let me know. I assume everyone can see my screen.
Yeah, we can see it. Yep.
We're going to go through what the more orders model is on this call, and I'll go reasonably deep into so you guys understand it. Is there anybody who's been on here before other than my team that has seen me talk about this? Give us a nod or give us a hands up if you have seen it. Good. Nobody. All right, that's good. So here's the more orders model. Now, every single e-commerce business at varying levels gets this wrong. Like I'm talking brands that are doing millions of dollars a week versus brands that are doing nothing. They're all getting this wrong at some level. And as you can see from this beautiful triangle, the three parts to this that actually make it work or make it not work are how do you tell your story about your brand, right? So people land on your website and, you know, they're on your homepage and they start reading what you do and they start connecting with, you know, everything that's written on your site. So we call this as your brand messaging strategy. So again, many of you are on the call doing all kinds of different things, right? But, you know, people go in there and they see an image of whatever, you know, you sell, I don't know, sell kids toys. First thing they're going to do, they're going to start reading like your H1 tag on your homepage, which says like, hey, welcome to the toy store where every toy tells a tale, like one of the brands we'll talk about later does, you know. And then they go down the page and they start reading about, you know, why you're doing what you do, who you help, how you help them, you know, why you're so different to all the other brands out on the market, because I'm mindful that a lot of people sell similar things, right? But the brands that actually crush it the hardest are the ones who tell a really compelling brand story when they're actually people are landing on their website. So this is the first part of this, and I'll cut to Chris in a couple of minutes and he can go a bit deeper on it. He's our brand guy. Now, the second part is how does your site convert? So a lot of people go to Shopify, get Shopify set up, go and buy a theme from wherever, you know, everyone goes and buys the bloody Dawn theme or the Turbo theme or Enterprise, and they're all rubbish, right? So shout out to everyone who's using those terrible themes. That's why you're not making any sales. The issue is with all of these things though, is on a homepage and a collection page and a product page and the cart page and the cart drawer, there's a lot of elements that need to be going into all of those pages so that your site converts as good as possible. And when I talk about converting as good as possible, what I mean is, you know, most people's sites kind of convert at like 1, 2, 3% or something, right? And why this is an issue, because let's assume you got 100 people coming to your website and you're only converting 2% of them. That's 2 people, right? And let's pretend 2 people is $100. So say there you go, you made $200. So what you want to be doing, you want to be getting, you know, a conversion rate, 4, 5, 6. Some people get 7% conversion rate, right? So that means for every 100 people that are coming to your website, you're converting 6 or 7 of them instead, right? So instead of making $200, you're making $700. So why this becomes such a big issue is because most people go out and start spending a lot of money on Google ads, meta ads, everything else, and they got all this traffic coming to their website. And it's not built to convert using like all the elements and so forth that should be on all the pages. And it's not saying the right thing, so people leave, right? So all you end up doing is spending more and more money on marketing. You're paying your agencies more money. Your agency's like, oh, we think you've got a problem, but we don't know what it is. You know, sorry that we spent 10 grand of your money last month and you only made like 20 grand back. You go, well, if you had a tripled my conversion rate, you know, you would have made 4 times the amount of money. Right. And it's such a simple thing to do. Once you nail how your site converts and you nail the messaging strategy that you actually got on your website. Right. So really, really important here. And then bringing this all together in a proper digital strategy. So when you when you work with us, right, as an example, when you go like, I've done a brand communication strategy and I've got a really, really clear messaging and I've got a really, really good site that actually converts, then you go and build a really good digital strategy. Because what you want to do, because then you go back to your Google ads person and your email person and your Facebook person and blah, 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 the other people. And you go, hey, say these things about my brand, right? And then put that in your ads, put that in your videos, put that in your emails, or you do this yourself, whatever, right? Because then people are out on Facebook and they're scrolling through, looking at cat photos and all the random crap that they're going to see on Facebook. Your ad pops up and they're like, oh, that looks really interesting. Like, that's really resonating with me. And I'm like, that sounds like something I want to look at. Then they land on your website and then they see the same message and much more detailed messaging. And they go, great, I'm in the right spot. Then as they're frantically scrolling up and down your website, they're like, oh yeah, I can see where the add to cart button is, and it says that they have minimal stock, and it says that they got 47 reviews, and it's in stock, and it ships today, and the 40 other things that we put on a product page, and they go, great, I'm going to give Josh and Kimberly and Emily my money. As opposed to going, I didn't really understand the point of this product. It didn't resonate with me. I didn't feel it. Didn't give me any emotion. And can't even find out the cart button. And they got no social proof. And they got no reviews. And I don't know how to use this bloody website. Right? Everyone following with where we're going on this so far? Anyone not like confused? If so, chuck a comment in there. All right, good. So what we're going to do is I'm actually going to pick someone on the call. So there's a few of you. You know what? I might do it for all of you. See how we go. I'm going to just turn screen share off a second. And yeah, I've done about 7 hours of Zoom meetings today. Shit, and I nearly clicked end Zoom. That would have been great instead of turn off screen share. So give me a second.
That one on.
I'm going to pick someone here and I'm going to actually show you how I would fix this for you and the things that you've got problems with, right? All right, Chris, who do we want to go first?
Couple Jess gave the first one, Adornium.
Is that you, Maurice Curtis? He says, I like presents.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Anyone that stays on to the end, I'm going to give you $100 voucher to spend at Maurice's site. He's one of our Inner Circle members. There you go. Can you get we'll get that sorted. So sells amazing chocolates from Tasmania. Put a link in, Maurice. Get some free advertising. All right. Which brand are we doing first? Maurice.
Adornium. I've just linked it there. This is Jess D. She shared it first, so you can just get her up.
All right. Let's have a look. So, nice website. Hang on, I'll screen share.
No worries. Hey, Jess, you've direct messaged me. All good though. If you can unmute.
Yeah. Can we see you and talk to you? That'd be way better than talking to.
Hi, I'm sorry. I've got my toddler with me. So here is me. Hello, nice to meet you.
How are you? All good. No worries.
Awesome.
All right, I'm going to put Chris on the spot here in a second and go, let's talk about the brand strategy. Before I do that, though, I'll give him a bit of notice. So embrace style and comfort, explore stunning, hypoallergenic jewelry that embodies. Okay, that's interesting.
Cool. Angle, yeah.
So is it kind of targeted at people who have reactions to jewelry?
Yeah, so that's sort of where I'm at. The idea actually came from my daughter, who reacts to all metals that aren't titanium. Her ear tries to swallow any and all other metals. So
right.
Yeah, and that is not an isolated story that I've heard, and it's a gap in the market. I noticed you can't really buy like titanium earrings for your lobes. So yes.
Hang on, here we go. I've got titanium in my arm and about 14 screws.
Yeah.
So that's a story for another day.
Yeah, I use the exact same implant grade metal.
Oh, right. Okay,
awesome.
There you go. All right. So, I mean, look, I'll say a few things and then Chris can go, right? So I think, that's super interesting that you say it like that. And people instantly going to go, I get it. Like, I know a lot of people who have, Chris, people are joining, by the way, just let them in. A lot of people have that issue. I don't think you've put it in the right spot, for one, so normally, but people read left to right. So move it over to here, right?
Yes.
I want to check a few things as I go through this. So there's a thing called a H1 tag that you should have on your website. And I'll give you an example. Like, so this is a H1 on their website. Again, people read left to right and then read across the page. So move everything over to the left, change that to a H1, and also change that to this sentence, hypoallergenic, jewelry, for example, assuming people search for it. Because what's going to happen is, say, for example, and I'll check this for you. Let's have a quick look. You see, we're going to jump around a bit here. We'll do a bit of SEO, we'll do a bit of Crow, we'll do a bit of brand, and by the end of it, you will be not a lot more than we did at the start. So this is a tool that's going to show me, so 50 people a month search for that. It's not a huge term, so there's probably a better term that you could be searching for. What you could do is you could potentially put it in your H2, right? So that should be a H1, that should be a H2. The reason you should do that is because Google considers that the most important sentence on your homepage, and they're going to send traffic to your website for that sentence. At the same time, you still want to make sure it sounds exciting. So if you go to here, for example, you know, everyone can read what it says: unleash your child's imagination at a toy store, right? Hence, these guys rank for the word toy store, and they're beating some of the major brands, you know, where every toy tells a tale. That's the H1. And then they get down into their H2. You need a H1 and a H2 like that. So it's instantly obvious what they do, and it's got search volume in it so that you're getting a lot of free traffic for it, right? And definitely move it to the left. If I go down further, this is good that you've had a crack putting, we call these trust signals. So this is a conversion rate thing. People don't care as much about this though. There's other reasons, you know, so such as trusted by, you know, 100 other people, surgically made, you know, surgical steel, whatever it is, you know, like say it's titanium. Do you know what I mean? Free shipping, that's fine. Leave that in the header. It doesn't need to be down here. Secure checkout, no one cares. Gift wrapping. There's better messages that you need to be saying in there, right? Such as you go here, you know, handpicked from our hearts for yours. So you could say things more along the lines, you know, what do you make this or do you buy these products?
I buy them from a supplier. Yeah.
Yeah. So you need an angle that kind of frames it like, you know, this business is owned by a mum because the mum's solving the problem that her daughter has instantly. Because all the other mums are going to go, oh, wow, yeah, great. My daughter has the same problem. So if you see how we did it on like this page here, you go down and you go, hey, this is Chris and Sarah. This is why we do it. We've got a daughter. We love selling them great products. You know, the business started in COVID, rah, rah, rah. Like there's a photo of them. People go, great. I want to support this family brand. So definitely need to include that on the homepage as well. I'm going to cut the Chris in a second because there's definitely not enough brand communication in here. So I would love to see something like this front and center on your homepage as well. So Chris, are you there or you've just, what do you reckon? What are your thoughts?
Yes, I was just blanking Elsa coming in from the pool.
Okay.
Her first live appearance, probably not the best. Yeah, I think you bang on it's got your favorite word in there, so I think we put that first. We put curate first.
Curate first, always.
That should be the main word. Just for Paul hates the word curate, by the way, for everyone.
I nearly named the business the Curated Load, so it's funny that you say that.
God. No, thank God you did.
You've been kicked off the call.
Done, cancelled.
But I like it. Like it. I think for what you're doing, it's an accurate term because you're curating a certain type of metal. Like you're curating that fix a problem. So I think the brand problem solving, the brand challenge solving is good in terms of it's a niche problem. You're actually solving a problem that exists. I think the key brand thing, and where Paul's kind of looking here with the search, is like what are people looking for to find that thing, and who is the person that's going to buy this? Is this, like you said, for you, is this a mum? I mean, I guess it's anyone that already knows they have an allergy metal. So you kind of, in terms of like a funnel, you're marketing to somebody that's problem aware. Right, we're going too deep into this, but if you look at like a funnel, you've got people that are like unaware, they don't know what they don't know. Then they kind of move through to they know what the problem that they're trying to solve is. Like I've got an allergy to metal. I understand that's the problem, and then they'll move into like a solution aware where they know that to solve that problem they need to buy titanium, but they need to buy a specific type of metal to solve that problem. So you're kind of in between. Yeah. So you're a little bit down the funnel. You probably, in terms of like the people that are going to buy, that's probably the sweet spot because where they already know that they have that problem. Or like to go with your story, it's a parent who knows their child has that problem. That could be another, I think, particularly for you because that's your story. It's always nice to be able to reflect your story into the audience. And say, hey, I'm a mum. I built this business because I noticed that my daughter had allergies to this. So I created this whole business. And other mums going through that same process, we were like, that's amazing. I want to support and champion this person.
Definitely.
who's doing something beneficial out in the world and helping people like me solve the specific problem that I have. So I think like there's definitely like there's a really cool brand here. I like Adornium sound. It's got a cool name to it as well in terms of the actual brand name. You're adorning yourself with titanium. Is that kind of how?
Yeah, that's sort of where it came from. Yeah, so it's absolutely a made up word. I made up that word.
Yeah, no, it's great.
But yeah, that's where it come from, like adorning yourself with beautiful things and, you know, like making yourself feel good. And obviously you don't want to have allergic reactions while you're doing that.
Yeah.
So see how I've just knocked this out in like a couple of seconds? Like, you know, this is a quick and dirty and blah, blah, blah version, but people land on your website instantly. It says like, say goodbye to nickel allergies. Our hyperallergenic jewelry is great for sensitive skin.
Yeah,
people go,
amazing.
People go, oh, that's what I want. I need that, you know. And then the next thing, discover our nickel-free elegance with our tiny titanium and sterling silver collection. You're like, great. That's exactly what it is, you know.
Yeah, awesome.
So that's a H1, that's a H2. I did that quick. It can be better, you know. But then as we go down into the page further, you know, then we start going, we really expand on how. So, you know, Chris, you want to talk about how we've expanded? I'll try and knock something
like
up.
these, you talk about like these sort of benefit features here. There's when we go through the brand strategy process, we kind of pull these out from feature and benefit process. So these are key benefits or features that ideally are tending more towards emotional, psychological benefits over the practical, functional benefit. But generally, it'll be a blend of both. So I think, like for you, the fact that it's made from titanium or that it's made from a specific metal, and again, understanding how does the audience language that? Do they say, like you've got here, does the audience term it as nickel-free, or would they term it as hypoallergenic, or would they term it as sensitive skin jewelry? Would they term it as titanium? Kind of, again, depending on where the bulk of your audience kind of sits in that funnel, like how aware are they of the problem, and how aware are they of what the how do they one. Yeah, so again, that's where a bit of the kind of SEO research and market research comes into. How do they phrase it? Are they saying the word how hypoallergenic? Are they saying the word sensitive skin?
So I've done a little bit of like research in like using the Google keywords and things like that.
Yeah.
They are pretty tricky keywords to
nail,
as you said.
I've written them on
so it's sort of a balance of keywords where you've got the right keywords to rank in Google, but then you've got kind of audience keywords.
Yeah.
Which are the words that your audience goes, oh, I know what this is and I know what it does. And you're kind of saying it to me in a way that shows me that you're an expert in it. So, for example, if you were to go to market and go, it's nickel-free, but nobody in the audience ever says the word nickel-free, they say titanium, then you kind of don't come off as the expert. If that makes sense. So kind of it's the languaging, the brand languaging. This is sort of the nuance of it is, number one, what do we want to project as the brand? Like, how do we want to represent ourselves and position ourselves in the market and talk about the benefits of the challenges we're trying to help people overcome, blended with what does the audience need? What do they want to hear? What do they need to hear? And how do we help them understand that this is going to solve their problem?
Yeah. So I've just jumped over to here. This is when we build websites for people, and people who have seen this before, like we got this thing called the $1 Million theme, right? So just for the purpose of this, I've just knocked something out here. So, you know, at Adornium, we specialize in redefining jewelry for sensitive skin by offering an exquisite range of hypoallergenic nickel-free titanium and sterling silver pieces, blah, 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 right? So, but that's a great start, something like that. And then that goes front and center on your website. And then take a screenshot if you get your camera so you can steal it.
I already did.
We charge a lot of money for this. So you're getting it for free. But then you're coming over to here, for example, you know, and you see something like, you know, tarnish free, you know, it's never going to tarnish, trusted by 100 people with sensitive skin, comfort meets style, you know, nickel free guarantee.
Never get jewelry stuck in your ears again.
Yeah.
Like all those real specific problems that people go, oh, holy shit, like she knows what I'm going through. It's not just about, oh, here's a titanium product I ordered on Alibaba. It's no, we've chosen this because we know that your ear will, like you said up front, right, your ear will eat certain jewelry or it goes correct. Colors. That kind of language is the stuff that people go, okay, she actually knows what she's talking about. So now I trust her more.
All right. But that's a couple of things for your homepage. There's a lot else wrong. So stay to the end and I'll share something with you. On your product page, it's missing basic stuff like, hey, 6 people have just ordered it in the last 4 hours, or 3 people are looking at it, or it's in stock and it's ready to ship, or shipping is free, or here's a size guide, or 3 other little sentences on this page where people go, oh, yes, 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 I want it. Or a short description is also missing, you know, much like if you go to these guys' page, which they crush it, and we're always adding more stuff to their page to help them go better. You'll see a comparison, right? And every person's product page we build is different because they do different things. But, you know, like these kind of things, and the reviews are in the right spot, and you better hurry because we don't have much stock, and order it now, and never ever use a white add to cart button, guys. Unless you're a $1 billion brand, then it doesn't matter because they've got so much traffic. But use a contrasting color. You know, gift wrapping. There's a lot of other things on this page that make you convert better, and it's the same with your collection page. So, I filter by category. You can't filter by like kind of style. You can filter by price. I actually hate filters that like this, and I've tested them a lot. Like these pop-out filters on the right to convert like shit, excuse my French, but because people browse and they start on the left and then they stay there. Like, so example, like this, you know, you go filter. Oh yeah, I want to search by color and price and blah, 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 blah. And it slowly minimizes stuff. And then you check out because it just pulls the products across your page, right? So all these themes that do that kind of style is not good. Also, it doesn't look like.
Are those different? Is that hovering over to a gold variant, or is it a black and white image?
That's going to
gold variant. Okay,
yeah.
True.
Kind of looks like it's a black and white image, and then when you hover, it goes gold. So it's like,
okay, yeah, totally understand what you're saying. Yeah.
How it should work is it should have a variant down in here. So when you put your mouse, it's either got a gold or a silver one. All right. So, like this website that we built. So you go here, you go men's, you go shirts, and you go, oh, I want this color or I want that color. All right. So that's kind of just a bit broken at the moment. You know, again, you go to a product page and you're like, oh, yeah, super easy. Check out. Happy days. I'm mindful that we've got heaps of other people on there, but there's a lot of things there that you can fix. Short version is make sure you stole the things that I did with the brand messaging. Worst case, watch the recording. But this theme, yeah, needs a bit of work. Stay on to the end and we'll show you something that you should have a look at.
Awesome, will do. Thank you.
No problems. Who's next?
We got Kimberly up with Glow Tea. But quickly, Emily just left a question, and I think this is also, Emily, like, you're right. A lot of themes out there people are using really are going to struggle to have these functions. And that kind of does tie in with like what we're going to kind of offer to you at the end of the call. So again, that kind of thing will be answered at the end of the call. If you do have a theme that's not really up to scratch for what it needs to be for a good conversion rate. But yeah, we'll kind of get to that later.
Most themes are rubbish, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Like 90% of them are trash. Like even the expensive ones are trash, right?
Yeah.
So like when we build a site like Toybox Tales, we start with this cheap theme, if I'm being honest, but then we customize the crap out of it and we do the same thing for every site that we build. Unlike a lot of agencies out there that go, yeah, we've got to charge you $100,000 for a Shopify website, and they build everything custom and it's all rubbish and it breaks every 5 minutes. And, you know, we don't do any of that either. So
yeah, and I think like you were saying today, if you just rely on plugins and plugins and plugins, it's going to slow down your site speed by a lot. You have too many, and then also it's going to cost you. And like you're paying a monthly subscription to most of these, so it'll start adding up. So
and stuff will, like, people go, oh, I'll go and try and add that filter to my website. Next minute, why did our sales tank for the week? And I go, it's because because you did that, and then like everyone who's using buddy Chrome can't use your website anymore because there's an issue that you can't see because you don't use Chrome, right? What was the question?
To answer Emily's question, yes, the search and discovery is a native Shopify app that does all of that filtering.
Yeah,
So
it's in there.
there's Shopify add-on called Search and Discovery, but it's an app, but it's a Shopify native app. And
Yeah, it
does all-
doesn't free, doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah.
So you can do stuff like this. This is one of our brands, like Zero Grid. I've invested into this brand, and like crazy what you can do for them. So we'll go on to who's next. Goity, was it?
We got Gloty. Yeah, that's Kimberly. So
I
Kimberly.
think my wife uses your brand. Yeah,
Really?
she does. It's in the kitchen.
Yeah,
No
she
way.
bought recently.
She's drinking it all the time. She's glowing.
Awesome.
What can I say? So yeah. Good. I thought I'd seen it. She likes buying from people in the group. All right, let's have a look. Inhale, sip, enjoy. They don't have search volume, right? So remember what I said before at the start of the call. People are going to search for a phrase that has volume, and by volume I mean people are searching for it every month. Say for example, and I bloody love matcha tea. I just drink anything that is matcha, right? So say that it was like, you sold a tea that did matcha weight loss tea or something. There's probably 50 searches a month or something for that. So what we need to find out for you is what is the phrase that has search volume, and then how do we make it sound fancy, right? So if we go here and we do, let's try and do it quick for you. Again, for those of watching this is, when Chris does this with people, I'll show you the effort Chris goes to when he does this, right? It's like 40 slide Google buddy Excel, and you spend a lot of time getting really, really, really clear on why you do this. So what's the go here? So all of these keywords, so we'll look here. Come on, internet. So just quickly, here's a crash course in how search engine optimization works. Here's the keyword that people search for on the internet. Here's how many people search for that every month in Australia. What you need to know though is it's usually about double this, right? So this is not actually 100% accurate. And at the moment, this is where Kimberly ranks. So first, second, third, other than that, like always fourth, fifth, and sixth, no one's going to click any of those things because it's, like hidden in the abyss. In saying that though, do you have a particular type of tea that you go, this is kind of our hero product? Like I can see that you got like tea for like period pain and so forth, and hormone tea, and
look, that's the area I really want to go down and expand in that area. So I've got 2 separate teas for women's health, but the blue butterfly pea is our best seller by far. So it's like I want it to go in one direction and it's going in another.
What is it?
What does that do? What does that do? The blue
butterfly pea.
PUT, yeah.
Is that the one? Yeah. So it's vibrant blue because it's really high in anthocyanins. So that's really potent anti-inflammatory antioxidant. So it's well known for if you've got aches and pains in your joints. It supports better sleep because it improves your melatonin production. For cardiovascular support, it's great for brain fog, all kinds of things. So it kind of ticks a lot of those boxes when people see an ad for it and go, oh gosh, I've got one of these 20 things or 3 of these things. And
is it natural?
It's all organic, all the color is natural. It turns purple when you add a citrus to it. So it's got that, it's gorgeous to look at. So it's having its moment at the moment.
You should be targeting parents who give their children bloody melatonin from the chemist.
Yeah, the melatonin gummies.
That stuff is terrible. Messes up their testosterone and everything level. This is natural, and then they give it to their kids. Go to sleep, little Johnny. Like have drugs from the chemist. Great parent. No offense. No, actually, lots of offense to the parents that do that stuff. Like give them this instead, right? So why wouldn't you follow that? Like there's tons of interest in it. It's huge. You've obviously got like men, women, children. Put it in your dog's water, make your dog chill out. Like it's a whole market just for this thing, right? So short version, you'd start there, even from a H2 perspective. Hey, welcome to Goity. Like we sell
blue butterfly,
blah blah blah. And it helps with sleep and it helps with da 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 da. And you go put that in there because you're going to get heaps more traffic coming through. I can give you a better version. I'll keep scrolling first. You definitely need, like I did on the other lady's website, was it Jess? Like as soon as I land on here, I want to know more. Like, like get on video, talk about it and go, hey, it's Kimberly here. This is what we do. This is why we do it. This is who we do it for. This is how it helps you. This is how you feel. All the stuff that like Chris can jump into in a second and go, I'm in the right place, you know, because it it's a nice site. You're doing a lot right. Like this stuff's good, you know, award winning. Doesn't tell me where you won your award. 5 reviews. I'd probably change that, you know, change it so it says, you know, 100+ reviews instead of 5.0 reviews. Free shipping, you know, there's things that can be changed, but you kind of off to the right other than this. Nobody knows what Shecom is outside of Shecom. Change that to something else. So you want to add anything to that, Chris? I'm going to rewrite the H2 while you at H1 while we do that.
Why did you start the business?
So my background is I'm a nutritionist, and while I've been having children, I thought it was a great idea to take my 2 loves, tea and nutrition. No, sorry guys, I'll be there in a second. And create something that I could work around my 3 children. And I'm really passionate about perfecting blends that have function. So they support different aspects of health, but actually taste good. So I spent a lot of time developing some of the different blends, and so I'm really wanting to create unique blends that sort of tick all those boxes. Plus, I really want to take on, you know, my vision in 10 years' time is to take on probably the biggest tea company in Australia, which is T2, which has, you know, out of a plethora of teas, they have 3 that are organic. They're full of pesticides. They're full of artificial flavors. They're just utter crap.
They're fakers.
Yet they've got this huge market share. Well, I want to get that out of people's pantries, and I want the good stuff to get in.
Yeah,
cool.
Amazing.
So that's your story, and none of that's on the website at the moment.
True.
Even this, you know, like you scroll down here, I mean, looking at you and listening to you talk, I'm like, she seems lovely. I'm like, why is she in the bottom of the website? She should be right here. Hey, it's Kimberly, and here's my kids. Like, you know, photos of your kids.
Here's my mission.
This is my mission. This is why I'm doing it. You know, like look at them. Like they're healthy. We're healthy. I started this for a reason. Everyone, a lot of people hide this in the bottom. You know, it's got to be up. Got to be up the top straight away.
Because that's in this market against T2 and every other tea business that's selling tea. The thing that's going to differentiate is like why glow, like what is glow tea? Why is it different? And everything you just said, that's your positioning, that's your distinction. Is that, hey, I'm a nutritionist. Hey, I'm doing this I'm doing this to help. I'm creating blends. I'm actually not just getting stuff and giving like here's another Earl Grey. I'm creating like, so you've got your fighting fit, you've got your mama health, your dad health, your kid health, your whatever. You've got all your creating blends that solve specific problems. That whole curation process is your that's your special sauce, right? That's the thing that makes you distinct. That people are going to go, I'm not just buying tea, I'm buying Kimberly's tea.
Yeah, great.
All right, cool. So I want to show you something. So when Chris does a brand strategy for someone, I know that I like knocked it out really, really quickly for Jess before, and it was 3 out of 10. But there's a reason you go through like you know, here's however many questions, 6, 7 questions on there. And then you've got another 9 questions, and then you've got your brand values, and then you've got your brand beliefs, and then they've got what does the voice for the brand sound like, and what is the personality for the brand, and what are the characteristics of the brand. And we keep going and we keep going, right? And because, you know, there's the empathy map. You're like, I'm a mum, like Emma, for example. I'm a mum with 2 kids. My nutrition might not be as good as it can be. I want to feel better. Okay, you know, and I want to buy a product like what Kimberly sells. And because it's going to make me feel like this, and then it's going to make me you go, that's what Emma wants to read when she comes on you. The same as all the other mums that go, I just want a bit of luxury for myself, and I drink tea already. I may as well drink stuff that makes me feel better, right?
Exactly.
But we keep going through this whole thing, and you can see like this is, you know, it takes Chris like 4 or 6 hours or something to do one of these with someone, but you end up at the end like with this as part of it, and you go, all right, cool, there's your H1, which goes here, and here's your H2 that goes there, and all the other stuff in here as well goes throughout the website, and it goes in all your ads. So this stuff is, for a brand like yours with big goals, absolutely critical that you nail this.
Okay.
Probably above everything else, right?
Just hold on.
Yeah, because all the other stuff will kind of spill out of that.
Yeah.
Where are all the who's this? Is this for mums? Is this for anyone? Is it women's focus? Is it family focused?
Yeah, I've always thought it was sort of a women and mum focused.
So then I want to
see. You can tell by the branding and the packaging. That's sort of where I've been.
I don't know that
it looks sort of I wanted everyday luxe, so it looks quite attractive, but it's affordable.
Like I would. Let me look at something for a second. If I go to that page, does it specifically say for women on the page?
No. I saw women.
Some are women.
Back.
But I mean, if I was to land on your website, like you open this up to such a massive market, like I would, if I was going to rebuild your website, and I'd love to rebuild your website, I would go, you know, are you male, female? Are you wearing it for a kid? Right? Because, and then you take them through a slightly different purchasing process. And I think then it becomes really clear. Like for women, they go, I click here and here's all the things that you sell if I'm female. For a man, I would imagine it's exactly the same thing, but they've got to go through a slightly different journey. That's the thing. Like when you land on the, wherever it's gone in one of my tabs, is it, you know, you go here, it's different for them, right? But you go, I shop by age. Are you buying for a 1 or a 2-year-old, a 3 or a 4-year-old? Most people get excited and just go, let's just put all the best sellers and the new arrivals and 400 collections and blah, 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 blah. And people go, oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed. I'm leaving. Right? Yeah. There's a bit of that going on at the moment. But we can fix that. So let's look at your product pages for a second. So let's assume I'm going to buy, which one we want to buy, Chris Filato? We'll buy one for Connie or for you.
The purple one.
This one?
That's the one.
Yeah. So things that are missing on here, you know, again, like reviews is fine. Short description is in the wrong location. Add the cart button is fine. The way you've done the bundles, there's better bundle apps than the way you're using that. So that's actually, that won't be converting very well. You absolutely have to have stuff like, you know, 4 people just purchased it. It's in stock, ready to ship. You're also missing using what we call meta fields. Meta fields will be like, these are going to be terrible, but easy to drink, tastes great, you know, like kills hunger, makes you glow in the next 7 days. Tick, 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 right? 3 things, whatever they are. What did you say, Chris?
Anti-inflammatory, like beats inflammation. Here's the benefits, does these things. If I drink it, I'm going to feel this way and get these benefits.
Because what you're trying to achieve, if you're, say you're on this page and, you know, everyone wants an ice cream, you go, oh, yes. Yes. You're getting you want. Yes. Got it. You know, keeps growing. Yes. If people start scrolling, they get a no and another no and another no. They're out of there. So at the moment you'd be getting no's because you've got no information about shipping. I don't know whether anyone has purchased it recently. There's a bunch of other things that are kind of causing you issues as well. No people that are glowing in your photos. So you should probably have some.
I want to see who's the target audience, and I want to see them enjoying it.
Like really important. Like, what am I going to look like? Because your packaging looks sensational. Your brand looks great. It's nice. It's also neutral. I wouldn't even say it's, you know, the packaging and stuff will work for both any market, right? So, all right. What else do you want to look at here? Let's go to a collection page. Okay. Yeah. Where's you don't have a page title, like a H1 title? No, you need that. Should say like teas or something, for example, right? So they actually rank for things. This is too short. That should be about 300 words. That's probably a H2 tag. It's not, so that should be a H2. It's currently a div. So this page is never going to rank in Google very well. So that's
because of the theme I'm using Turbo.
Oh, right. That's all right. Does anybody have a Sage stick? We just got to get rid of Turbo. So the good news is, like, at the end, there's something we're going to sell, and you're going to go, I'll just buy that thing, and everything will be great. So yeah, Turbo's crap. Sorry, Turbo. Even the reviews, why are you using red? Like, it's a warning color. People go, oh, red, I don't want to click that. It's dangerous, right? So there's some basic psychology kind of things going wrong. But thankfully, great products. You know, I think you'll crush this. I think this is a really good idea. So let's just fix a few things and get going from there.
Amazing. Thank you.
Perfect.
All right, cool.
No
If
worries.
anyone, as I do this as well for the brands that do this, if you want to drop like, I don't know, 10% off or something and spam my audience on Facebook, go nuts. Like if you go, here's 10% off like Glow Tea and 10% off at Morris' site and 10% off at Josh's site, whatever. So who's up
We've had
next?
people get like 4 or 5 sales doing that. There's 2 more I want to go through. I want to help out Emily with
Link.
Pantheon Apothecary, and then I want to help out Josh afterwards as well.
Yeah. Does anybody have urgency that needs to run before the other people? So, I don't want you to miss out. If anyone's like, I really need to run because the kids are like, on the roof or something, feel free to go. It's probably me. So,
I think we're good.
there's a lot of words going on this website. Let's have a look.
We still got Emily here. We just double check. Bless you. Is Emily still on the call? Oh yeah, Emily's off. Emily, are you able to unmute for a little bit?
Transform your self-care from routine into ritual. Okay.
Is it a routine and ritual kind of something? Variation.
I think so. Yeah. There's lots of words.
Make it a routine.
Is that working?
Oh, there we are.
Sorry, I'm on my phone and I can't find any of the
yeah, it's all good. No worries.
I don't know what I'm doing here.
Okay. Can you talk to us about the brand for a bit, Emily? Just kind of talk like, what's the go?
Yeah. So my banner is horrible at the moment. I have meant to come back to that this weekend because I switched off my Black Friday banner. And I was like, shit, I need something to put there. So I just put that, but it's awful. It's not what's usually there.
Right.
But what is the business? Is it skincare? Is it?
Yeah,
it's product title. Sell watches.
No, don't sell watches. That shouldn't be blank. Oh no, it's going to be a disaster. It's skincare. So I make skincare. I also am a perfumer.
Awesome.
But I'm actually finding the kind of brand story for each of those is diverging, and so I'm toying with the idea of splitting them up.
Okay, so you do skincare like creams and conditioners and that sort of stuff, and then you do
I do, serums, cleansers, all those things.
Okay. Yeah, and then perfumes as well.
Perfumery as well, yeah.
Yeah, it's quite confusing, isn't it? Because it doesn't immediately say that. It doesn't say like, trying to figure out how to approach this. My voice is also dying. I've done like 8 hours of speaking today. So you'll have to forgive me if it stops.
Yeah.
Give Paul a moment.
Yeah, what Paul does. Yeah, like you've got so there's a cool vibe here. Like I get you've kind of got the Greek pantheon throwback, the modern traditionalist. You're sort of harking back to like a classical apothecary kind of vibe. So there's a cool vibe here. It's really that, but none of these words actually say anything. That's the main. Like there's a lot of verbiage here that sounds kind of cool. The only thing that gives me an idea is EcoLux botanical skincare. Even that could be so many things. That could
I'll agree with Chris. Like,
serums, is it eye, body, legs, butt, head, face? Like what kind of skincare? Botanical, like there's kind of some throwaway words in here, if that makes sense. But
can I run through something quickly, Chris, about that?
Sorry, Chris, go.
Can I just run through something? Yeah. So like this is something I do these audits pretty often for people, and the exact same thing that happened to Chris was for me as well. Like I land on here, and it took me a while to just figure out what this business does, and like until you read the EcoLux botanical skincare, it's just not clear. And usually what I like to say is in this experience, when you land on this page, because everyone's going to land on this homepage, so it's arguably like the most important experience you're going to have on your website. You need to achieve a few things in just this, what you see here. So before people even scroll down, you want them to understand who you are, what you do, and who you serve. So they can kind of figure out what is the difference between us and other people in the market. What is it that we're selling? Like make it very clear immediately. And that's just kind of like where it's lacking. So the kind of wording like Chris was saying is like, well, for example, before we're talking about keywords, that people would search to find this product. I know like Toybox Tales has toy store in the heading. So one of the first things you read is toy store, and it's just super obvious. So if you have a high bounce rate, which just means people land your website and within a few seconds they're already jumping off it, it's always because they just don't they don't even know if they're in the right place, or like there's no reason for them to be there. And that's like
how do you know if you've got a high bounce rate?
It should say in your Shopify backend, I believe.
Yeah, the metric you can find in it. It's basically the percentage of people that hit the website and then immediately bounce within 3 seconds or something.
Oh, okay. I haven't ever seen that number, so it would be interesting to.
That's right. It's not like a big number, a metric that people like really focus on, but it's just like that can be an indicator of that being a problem sometimes. And it's just like if you send people from this kind of ties into what we're talking about, like meta ads and digital marketing strategy earlier before, is like if you're sending people to like from ads to a web page, the ads might say something about the product, like this is what we do, and they land on this web page, and it just does. It's not congruent. It's not clear immediately that we're selling this thing that you just clicked through for in the ad, and it just creates this weird thing in people's minds, like it's just not what they clicked through for. They're going to leave. It's going to mean that you're not going to be profitable with your ads. Maybe you can let me know if you are running any ads at the moment for the business. But even if you come through marketing or digital marketing or just your social media, it still needs to have that same very clear what we do. This is what you've come for, and this is the offer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So my ads that I'm running at the moment, they all go to a product page.
Okay. Yep.
So cool. I've never had much luck with ads until recently.
Good on you. Awesome.
And they're going pretty well. Well, they've definitely got more expensive over Black Friday.
Yeah, that's just a given.
Yeah, but they were going really well, but they all just go straight to the product page of the product that's advertised. I don't think any of them send to my homepage.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I think that there's like for me having both the skincare and the perfume, I don't think that's necessarily a problem because lots of brands have lots of products. So I think you can do it. It's going to come down to the positioning, like what's that uniqueness? Is it something like feel and smell like a Greek goddess? Like, is that kind of the vibe, right? And I go, I want to feel like a goddess, and I smell like one, and I feel like one, or I look like one. Like my skin glows, and I smell, like a Greek goddess, because you've kind of got the pantheon again.
Yeah.
The kind of pantheon kind of vibe. Like, is that kind of the feeling? Like, and if that's the case, I don't think there's a problem necessarily with having the two different products. That could actually be like a real uniqueness that when I shop with you, I can kind of get the matching set.
Yeah.
Like I can get skincare and the scent to go together, and it's kind of a curation. I was going to say, it's like a curated.
I just found my video button. There you go.
Nice to see you.
Sorry.
No, you're all good.
I think that again, it's that storytelling, and I think because you've got that pantheon kind of ancient heritage Greek goddess kind of vibe, you can do some really interesting storytelling. So that could be something to explore, but then you also want to storytell in a way that people know what they're about to buy.
Yeah.
Like I know I'm getting perfume and they're matching, or I'm getting skincare and matching scent that kind of work together. Is that,
they're actually different,
or are they completely different? Or?
So like they're under different brands, so they're quite distinct.
Right.
The skincare perfume, which I think is why I'm having a bit of trouble marrying them together.
So are they your brands, or are you reselling other brands?
No, they're mine. I make everything. And
but you've branded them. How do you mean you've branded them? They're under different brands.
Well, one is the Pantheon Skincare, and the other is called Element Aroma Lab.
Right. So
these are like different product lines.
Different, different.
Yeah, that's okay. That's completely fine. Yeah.
So you're still okay on one website.
It's still like
why have you got the two brands? So Chris, why have you got the two brand names? Did you start one and then you get another and just
the perfumery is much more recent, but they're just completely different approaches to everything.
All right, so it's not Pantheon perfume.
No.
Is that why did you decide not to call it the same?
they just feel like really different explorations. Like the skincare is that's grown out of like natural, organic, handcrafted, sort of back to nature kind of thing. The perfumery isn't natural perfumery. It's more niche. It's more like an artistic venture, I guess.
So
Does this almost feel
that's
like
the case, that feels like two different things.
Yeah, really
It's
different.
two different businesses. And are you actively growing both of these, or?
Yeah,
So
well,
like
the perfume, to be honest, is it's like my artistic outlet, really. I do sell it, and I sell quite a bit in my shop. But it's definitely not like skincare is my bread and butter for sure.
I was gonna say we might need to game plan this a bit further, but what we would like really recommend is like whatever you're more passionate about and whatever is a product that you know is selling more of and is more profitable for you in business. Like, is it easier to manufacture? Go for that one. Like, go hard on the thing that works. You can have like your artsy, like your kind of expressive side on another business is fine, but in terms of business, I would really put your focus into the thing that you think that is more, there's more demand for the market. You got the difference there. It's got good profit margins.
That's definitely what I'm feeling. I've just hesitated because I need like another website. Like, I need a hole in there.
And when one is growing a lot bigger, you can kind of announce we got this brother or sister brand coming in, and then start co-marketing to your list the same way. But if you split yourself up that way, it's going to be hard for you to grow both at the same time, especially since they're different branding, different. You have to do everything twice. So I just
audiences, different marketing, different
exactly.
And knowing that they can really like the name on the bottle is completely different. If I'm buying on and you send me a thing that's whatever the other one's called, that's going to be super weird.
Okay.
So it's definitely based on that information, probably split it out, focus this site on the skincare, and then go deep onto that. Have radiant skin like a Greek goddess, and kind of go down that, because then that's it's succinct. You're going to get all the stuff we've talked about so far. Like, it's really clear what I get. It's obvious what I'm buying. You can target it to a specific person that wants to feel that way, that's trying to sort of emulate that feeling. Again, I'm using the goddess just as whether that's the vibe or not, but someone that wants that kind of luxury skin kind of feeling. If you're then trying to go do this little artsy cutesy thing on the side, it's a completely different thing. That's a whole different story.
That's just to keep me sane, really.
So do that on the weekends and on the side as a hustle. But like, if you want to dominate one thing, do this one thing really well on this one side, and don't kind of throw all the eggs in one basket, because then no one's going to buy the basket.
I'm glad
eggs and oranges and towels in it.
That's definitely how I've been feeling about it. Like, it goes great in the shop where people can try it, they can see it, they can smell it and wear it. And in a shop, you expect there to be more than one brand. But I'm feeling like on the website now, I need to start pushing that, and it's growing, but I'd like it to grow more. And it just feels harder and harder to communicate, like through social media and things for both.
So you'll grow through focus. If you scatter, it'll be harder. So focus is going to allow you to scale. It's very, very hard to scale scattered. But it's far easier to scale focused. So for you, that's the game plan. Strip it back, just dial into that one product, and then tell that story. And all the other stuff we said to everyone else here, get that H1 and your H2s. I know this is for me. I want to be a goddess. I want this type of product. I've got these skin conditions. I've got these types of things I'm trying to do. So now I know I'm in the right place. It feels right. It's going to solve the specific problem that I'm facing. And then everything speaks to that. The whole story speaks to that. And here's my story. I'm Emily, and this is why I started the business, and I've got this experience, or this is why I chose these products. All of that will blend and just focus on that.
I think you guys have probably picked up a lot that we are talking about two things in particular throughout this session, and that's our brand messaging and our conversion rate optimization. I'm gonna kind of do a quick explanation, like using this analogy that Paul uses. I'm probably gonna butcher it a little bit, But there's a reason why we focus so much on this and why that really helps your meta ad strategy, or if you're doing any paid strategy. So say you're out on a date, you're single, or you're trying to get a date, you managed to actually get a date. Awesome, good job. You probably did something right there to win that date, and now it's time for the date. So people have clicked through your ad. That's you asking for the date. They land on your website. This is you rocking up to the date. Now, there's two things you probably want to do. You probably want to look good, and you probably want to speak good. So the look good is how the website is laid out, how it works mechanically, and then the speak good is your brand messaging. How do you communicate to the person that you're on a date with? And basically, if you have those two things really nailed, then you're going to convert. You're going to go to the next base with your date. You're going to get another date. And that's kind of how we look at this. If you fix those two things, you're just going to increase your conversion rate. And it's really important, like we said before, because this is going to mean that your ads are going to be more profitable. You're actually getting bang for your buck. I just saw Josh sat in, had to jump off. No worries, mate. We're just about to get to him. It's unfortunate.
I was going to do Josh's next. We'll do that tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I'll send him a video. Yep.
We'll catch up with
That was a good
some
explanation.
problems.
Exactly right. You know,
I
you go
think
out
I
on a
know it,
date.
yeah.
My voice will probably die again in a second. So apologies. I've been talking for like 9 hours today, and I thought it might happen. I was sitting there like choking. Anyway, but he's right though. You go out on a date, you're trying to find, you know, future hubby. You're not gonna go out in your maybe some people might. You're not gonna go out there in your tracksuit pants and your Ugg boots, right? And you're not gonna go out there half drunk, right? So because it's not gonna convert. I say this to everybody.
Take the edge off. Right?
You gotta take the edge off. Have a wine, but you know, like have it like so, you know, like my example there, you know, you're half drunk. Yeah. You want to be out there talking really well because you're trying to find a nice partner, right? And you want to look reasonably good. Most people's websites, unfortunately, are out there online half drunk and like wearing Ugg boots, right? So that's why they're like, why isn't it working? Why aren't I growing? Or well, have a look, right? So I think it's really important that people kind of realize that as well, because this is going to hold you back forever. You know, if you don't nail these things, and I feel sorry for a lot of people. A lot of people are out there and they'll be like, I'm on my 5th website. I've spent heaps of money. I've spoken to all these people for the last 5 years and my business still sucks. And I go, dude, it's because your website's not good. It's not built to convert and it doesn't say the right thing. All right. So, you know,
it's a big problem with the free themes, right? People kind of make the mistake that Shopify recommends the Dawn theme and the Turbo theme. And you go, oh, well, if Shopify has built it and they recommend it, they must be really good. And then everyone just ends up with the same kind of basic website that actually doesn't convert. But it's a very easy kind of trap to fall into because you make assumptions as a business owner and go, oh, they've recommended these things and I'm bootstrapping, so like free is good. So we understand all of that, but there's definitely limitations on these sorts of free themes where you end up with the same visual presence as everybody else because everyone's using the same theme and it doesn't allow you to do a lot of these things that Paul's been talking about.
If I was Facebook and you know, I make all my money from people running ads, right? I would on purpose, you know, if I was not ethical, go and make like a crap theme that converts at 1%, right? And then make it the #1 theme on Shopify. Because all that's going to happen is everyone spends stupid amounts of money on Facebook ads to try and get that site to convert for them. This is how, like, you know, serious an issue this is, right? You know, like the last thing Facebook want you to do is spend, you know, have a conversion rate that's 6%, right? And your site crushes it because then you spend way less money on ads. And then Google, same thing. Like they want you to have a crap website because you just like, you know, jump from agency to agency to agency, spend your life savings running ads to sites that don't convert. That's how that's why they're making so much money. Right.
Which is why we talk about convert Crow all the time. Because as you said up front, I think you can send the same amount of traffic, i.e. pay the same amount of marketing. You can still spend your $3,000 a month, your $10,000 a month, but instead of converting 1 out of every 100, you're converting 7 out of every 100. You're making 7 times the money from the same spend. So that's why we drill on conversion rate, optimization, SEO, brand. These are the things that contribute to that conversion aspect. And we drill on brand a lot on these calls as well, and the messaging and the fancy words and all of that stuff and targeting it, niching down, talking to the right person, focusing. These might sound like kind of fluffy things, but these are the things that those themes don't give you. The theme doesn't give you the headline. It doesn't give you the audience. It doesn't give you the business model. It doesn't give you the product focus. So kind of just relying on a theme to do all of that for you, particularly these 3 themes, is problematic. And that's why we talk about conversion optimization, because we don't understand you're out there, you've got limited budget, you want to get as much bang for buck out of that money as possible. And conversion optimization is the freest way to make that happen.
Yeah, awesome. Paul, I should probably just quickly go through that transformation slide quickly, like how we apply this on the actual kind of plan. I can't remember what we call it. You're on it, 90 and 180. Yeah, you're on it.
This one.
Because this is very important, because this is how. So what we do, guys, and this is kind of like your actionable steps. When you go away, what we do when we work with businesses is we kind of identify what are the weaker areas of the business in a few things. For example, is your branding not up to scratch? Is the conversion rate kind of not quite there? Is your digital marketing strategy all over the place? Or is it even too early for you to be thinking about paid ads? And what we do is we look at it at a 90. Sorry, Paul, did you remove that?
Yeah, I'll bring it back. Hang on.
Oh, okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
It's all right. I'll keep explaining anyway. So what we do is we look at it at a 90, 180, 270, 360 day kind of plan. And this is how you're going to overcome that overwhelm, by focusing on the things where you're weak that are creating bottlenecks in your business and just getting them done one at a time, making sure that you're fixing these things in the right order. So you don't go ahead and just spend $1,000 on ads and then just blow it because your website wasn't ready to convert and your branding wasn't ready. So I think we can probably just get one of the lovely ladies that we had up before. Maybe we can get up onto your businesses again and just do a quick example of how this works. And then you can go and do this for yourself as well.
I'll try to speak. Chris, take over if we need to. But you can see my screen. Everyone can see my tablet. So this is what I would do if I was Kimberly. First thing is fix her brand messaging strategy. So spend some time, nail the brand messaging strategy over the next, not even 90 days. It's taking a week to do it, right? Then nail your conversion strategy. So CRO, number one thing. Then once you've got your brand messaging strategy dialed in, then you go and give it to like your media buyers, so Meta, Google, blah, 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 email, and start putting the new message out to the market. This will be a game changer for you. Off the back of that, I assume you're already doing email and all that kind of thing to some capacity as well. Yeah. But honestly, it's these things that are going to be the biggest game changer, because there's a lot of people already know about your brand. You just want to make sure that again, I said this like for hours now, go say the right thing, send them to the site that's built to convert. I think it'd be a game changer for you. And then once you're really clear on this, you go, here's our ad that we target at women that are 30 to 35. Here's our ad that we target women that are 40 to 45. Here's our ad that we target to who want to glow. And here's our another ad that we target to women who want to sleep better. And here's our other ad for women who want to do this thing. So that when they land on the website and they go to your, let's assume it's like this. Here's your new collection structure. If you want to figure out, if you want to sleep better, go here. If you want to do this thing better, go here. If you want to do this thing better, go here. And they've already come from a Facebook ad and they go, yeah, cool, done, got it, landed there. They land on your product page that's built to convert and they go, yes, 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 sold. Right. So these things for you right now, great. You've already got a good product. You've already got great branding. You've already got okay messaging on the product page. Just got to fix that and then crank these things up, right? And then come back in a little while and go, cool, what's next? Basically, this is a very simplified way that I'm doing it. Before I start choking or something again, but honestly, like you're on the cusp of just like going bang, because you've got so much good stuff going on. I spoke to a brand today. And they sell amazing products. And I'm like, your problem right now is your website. Same issue that you've got here. Fix this, fix this. Then we just start running Google ads. Bang, it'll go great. Like the amount of brands I speak to that I meet, and one of the first things I very politely say to them is, dude, you've got such a good product, but your website's crap. And they go, is it really? And I go, yeah, fix it. And they come back a year later and they go, oh, we're doing 90 grand when I met you. And now we're doing 400. I'm like, what else did you do? They go, we just spent more money on Google ads and that's it. The website converts now. I'm like, good, thanks. I'll see you later. All the best. So, this stuff is not rocket science. Well, it is. It's taken me 25 years how to figure out how to do it. But for you guys, that's not rocket science, because I just go make it easy for you. This makes sense.
Just do these things, and these are the things that make that scale possible for you as well. Like the brand stuff and the conversion stuff. That's when it's not just getting the right words on the website. It's then getting the right words into each of those individual, like really breaking down the audience, and then breaking down those audiences into your emails, and then creating specific offers for each of those different people, and then having progression, and then having like customer journey. We call it the next product problem. Right? When they bought this tea, what's the next tea? And when they buy that tea, what's the next tea? So you're following the customer and you're giving them that ideal journey through their lifetime. And that's how you improve AOV, and that's how you improve lifetime value. That's how you make sure your retention rates go up, your cohort analysis goes up. So you're then not just spending money all the time to get the first customer. You're spending to acquire a customer that you're then able to sell to for life, because you understand that journey, because you deeply, deeply understand that person. You know what resonates with them. You know what they need. You know what stage they're in within your product suite. That, hey, you've had sleeping problems. Now you're sleeping well. Well, now maybe you need more energy. And now you've got more energy, and now you're a new mum. So now you need this for your kid to sleep, right? So they're going to go through these products. Same with Emily, right? They bought this face serum because they were trying to fix blotchiness, and now they fixed that. And now they want to glow more, and then they want to look better for date night, and then they want to look better for celebrations, right? There's going to be a process that your customer goes through that will keep them buying over time, which is a really important aspect as well. So you're not just trying to sell the first purchase all the time. And all of this stuff goes into that ability to scale all of that other stuff really well. But it's really hard to scale if you don't understand your customer.
So don't mind me whilst I'm just like doodling all over the screen here. But here's your marketing plan. You know, like nail Meta, nail Google, and then take what works from those things, chuck it in social, or vice versa. Crush some social organic, make it into an ad. You go, we know it works, do more of that, you know. And then you'll just keep elevating to the point where, you know, we're doing 200 grand a month now, happy days. Then you go do this, you go pour fire on it with SEO, pour fire on it with like PR, media. People will be like, oh, wait, you can drink tea and it does all these things. And it's better than T2's crap that they sell, right? Because at some point, and this will come out of your brand strategy, what's really important is how firm you want to stand for something against other brands. When you stand for something against other brands, people are like, oh, she's the lady that sells the product, the tea that's not killing you with carcinogenics and crap, right? So then all of this stuff starts to go, oh, she's in a video and a meta ad and an email and on the news and a blog article and blah, 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 blah. And you go, here we go, like $2 million a year business.
Like case in point, Morris, who's in Tasmania, there's a massive blow up in the media about Cadbury, and Cadbury basically selling shit chocolate. And Morris just happens to be a really good organic traditional chocolate manufacturer in Tasmania. And news.com and all these news sites contacted him going, hey, can we write an article and link it to your website? Right, because he's the anti-Cadbury. He could be the anti-T2. So when they eventually have employee issues, or they have anti-sustainability issues, or they have something that's in the news, you become that go-to person. And then you get all these amazing backlinks to your website from news.com and Channel 7, and Channel 10 and ABC. And that kind of exposure can blow up a business in a very short period of time. But to be that, you need to be known as that entity, which is all comes down to that brand. And like Paul was saying, how firmly, which hill are you willing to go die on as a brand? And if you can do that and you can back yourself in that, then that's where you feel really, really powerful. Some brand association.
Sounds quite drastic. You got to go die on a hill just to sell some tea. Righto.
I'll do it.
You'll do it.
If you're going up against T2, you're going to have to stand for something pretty cool.
Yeah, righto.
So that's a challenge, but nothing that can't be won by the David.
Yeah,
and so beat Goliath in the end, right?
So this like applies to most people on the call. It's just in various capacities, and like come back next week and I'll do it for you again when I can speak. But like take a screenshot, because this stuff is this is how we grow ecom brands, you know. And there's many ways that we fix this for people, and there's many ways that we fix this for people, and there's many ways that we teach you how to do this, or you do it yourself. Same with these, teach it, do it, teach it, do it, teach it, do it. Might jump onto some next slides Chris Villado, see how you go here. You can close this thing
you
out.
already
I'll
get it
try.
up?
Bring it home.
Bring it home, mate.
Yeah, sure thing, sure thing.
Oh, you want me to just go? Hang on. I can
If you're already
screen share.
sharing,
I'll go to here. Continue. I'll go there.
will be easier.
Basically, what he's going to say, he said these people, they said nice things about us. This guy here joined, he's doing 100 grand a month. Now he's doing like
anyway.
300. Some of these brands over here are doing like started doing 30. Now they're doing 300. Some of them doing millions. So
I reckon
you don't
if you're in
need
the Shopify Australia group, you've seen people talk about this stuff anyway in real time.
you don't need me to say nice things about me. Like read our testimonials. We do good things for good people who have good brands. So
Basically.
hopefully this has been helpful so far. Hopefully you can see the gaps that you've all got in your businesses. Usually would go deeper on this, but again, I think we've gone pretty good. Now, two choices. Feel free to go. You can take over, Chris. I don't mind.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah. So look, guys, I did ask for your permission to start to offer you something by the end of this that I think is going to help a lot of you, and I think that was confirmed throughout this. What we're going to give you here is going to be really a game changer for a lot of people. But you do have two choices. So you can see a kind of unhappy Paul and a happy Paul. Go to the next slide. The unhappy Paul is basically you can continue doing what you think you're doing. Go get information out there that's probably old and wrong, and keep trialing erroring things. It's not really what we want for you. We want to work with as many amazing brands as possible and help see them succeed. We're doing this on a daily kind of basis, and we want to do more of that. So if you want to make Paul unhappy, keep doing that. If you want to make Paul happy, then what we want to see you do is choose the proven path, do something that is repeatable, that we've done hundreds and hundreds of times already, and follow that and see the success that we know you want to see. So I'm going to kind of talk a little bit about how we can do that. What's the next slide here, Paul?
This one.
We're looking at. Cool. Same. Look, we can go through these. We've gone through plenty of these. So we want to help you map out a plan. But actually, I think we're going to do a different offer for today. So it depends on the size of you guys. Like if you happen to be at one of those more, I can't remember the stage names, but if you're already in that scale up phase, you probably want a bit of more one-on-one time with Paul, a bit of a strategy session, and maybe to do some one-on-one work with him. So if you're in that stage and you do want to chat directly with the team, I'm going to drop a link for you. So you can book a call anytime that works for you, and we'll jump on and talk some shop about how we can help you grow your business. But I've got actually a different offer, something a little bit more special for you. If you've been on here before, you might have seen it. So recently we opened up this amazing offer for the Black Friday, for a Black Friday sale. And it was such a crazy reception that we're like, all right, let's open up for another week. And then we're probably going to make it a thing as of February next year. But Paul's getting up here. So you can see it's still called Black Friday, and we're opening up a few more spots. But one thing we really found, guys, is that these websites are holding a lot of people back. It's like crazy the impact that this website, like having a very high converting website, can have. And we found, obviously, we do this with our agency day in, day out. It can cost a bit of a premium. And even though that's like the big difference in some people's businesses is that website, it's hard to get that cash to pay for a full website, right? So what we've done is Paul has actually gone back and he's made what we can, well, we're still figuring out the real name for it, but basically it's a high converting framework that we are now installing into people's websites. It works kind of like a theme, but it's actually got all the custom coding, everything that we need for all those functions we just talked about throughout the day. So if you're using a crappy theme and it's holding you back, you come in here, you install this theme, and it's going to have all the functions that you need to follow exactly what our framework is. And that means whenever you receive our advice, whenever you build your website or you put products into your website, you do your branding, it's going to be the right things in the right places and saying the right things. And that's the most important thing for your website. So we've managed to do that in a way where it's a lot more cost effective. I'll just be transparent with the price. This offer, it's $2,000 for one time to get access to this. But it goes beyond that, because I know a lot of people are going to get this offer, and they're going to say, okay, I'm not really sure what to do from here. I'm not a tech person. So what we've done is you've probably seen us talk about the eCommerce Circle before, our private coaching community. We've included 8 weeks of free access into this offer. If you grab this template, you're now going to have a new high converting website, but you're also going to receive the actual guides onto how to implement your business into it, which is just a very easy to follow video guide saying, this is how you drag things here. This is where you upload your photos. This is how you say the right things. And you're going to follow along with everyone else doing this inside our eCommerce Circle community on a week-to-week basis to help you get support to build this amazing website. And then also, like I said, access the eCommerce Circle for 8 weeks. That includes all of our courses, all of our coaching, and all of our actual community access, which just means that you're going to be next to other business owners who are doing 50, 100K, 7 figures per month, and upwards. So that's kind of the offer that we put together. We can see Paul going through. Anything else you want to add about that, Paul, that maybe I missed?
Yeah, like we sold 30 of these in like 2 days when we launched this thing, and I keep saying I got to pull it down, but I keep going. More people message me, go, "Can I have it?" I'm like, okay, may as well keep it up then. But so you get to work with us for, like you said, 2 months. You get to work with all the other people that are figuring this out as well. You get a high converting theme. You get Chris's brand communication course. So for those that can't afford $5,000 to do it with Chris, you go through his course and you learn how to do it on your own. You get Lockie's meta ads course, which is amazing. So you watch that, you'll be, amateur to pro in like 2 hours. And when you're in the circle, Lockie does a call every Wednesday, is it? Yeah, today. So you jump on a call and he'll teach you how to run meta ads, and then on Thursday you jump on a call with Chris and you go, "Hey, I want to learn more about brand." And then on Friday you learn stuff from me, and then on Tuesday you're learning other stuff, right? So get the theme, get all that stuff, get everything. We'll help you. We'll make sure that you have a beautiful website. Again, this is targeted at people that probably, if I'm being honest, probably not you, Kimberly, because you're like at a level where you've got a lot going on with your brand. Like you're probably at the level of like, we'll build you a custom website and we'll just do it properly finally, right? But this is really targeted at people that don't have the $8,500 that we charge to be, like we charge anywhere from like $8,000 to $50,000 for a Shopify site, right? Most people are about $8,000, being honest. But for some people who have bought a theme's crap, can't afford to do a custom build, are probably going to try and figure it out and waste 6 months of their life. You buy this thing, you log in, you change some banners, you change some fonts, you click some buttons, you quick save, you add your products, you're good to go, right? This is why we built this thing, because so many people just waste years of their life trying to figure it out. And then, like I said, you got all the support from the community, from our team. We're here cheering you on. So for everyone watching this, and click the button, buy it, log it in, we'll get you set up, we'll get you up and running within like a couple of days, basically, right? So and like I said, it covers everything that I've taught here. For people who watch this later that are like, clearly you guys know what you're talking about when it comes to building a Shopify site, the link that Chris shared in the chat, and I'll get him to throw that in Shopify Australia group as well. Just hit us up and we'll build your custom Shopify site. Probably starting the new year now, because we've got like 20 sites in development or something. Yeah. But I can see the gap in the market where I know a lot of people, it's hard to be able to afford a custom site, but they still need something that converts. Hence we did this. So again, and for the people that are like, I've had enough, I want to move fast, I want to move quick, I want my site to crush it, then get on a call, have a chat with us. Again, like you got people here, like Morris he's in a circle. Laurie, who was here before, he messaged me, he's like, he goes, "Man, I'm having $1,000 days now every day." He goes, like when he started just doing $100, and all we did from was rebuild his website. He didn't use this thing, like we built him a custom site, but this is the standard stuff. So there's probably a lot more we can talk about what goes on in the circle, but the main thing is we want to get everybody off YouTube and TikTok and in the Shopify Australia group, hanging around people that like shouldn't be teaching you guys how to build businesses, because these people got no idea, right? And you got people in all the Shopify groups giving you shitty advice because they've sold $50 online and they think they're a guru. So that's the whole point of the circle, like hanging around good people, seeing what good people with good brands are really doing, grown-ups as well, not like selling rubbish. And they're like, "Oh, cool. I was on a call with someone that did a $200,000 week or a day last week. What are they doing? How do I do that?" So hope that makes sense. Not trying to hard pitch everybody. We just like generally like helping people. Honestly, that's what I do this for. So
I'm working with cool brands. I think that pretty much every business that we looked at today, like you have awesome products. I'm sure there's people who just watched along as well, didn't speak up today. You have a good product. Those are the kind of people we can help. If you believe in your product, that's where this will be effective. If not, you're still figuring it out. We can maybe help you out with that too, but that's the important thing. Like you're passionate about the business you're running, you're selling a good product you're happy with. These are the 2 ways we can help you. You got option 1, if you want to just book a call with us, do a strategy call, and we'll kind of see where we can go from there. Or option 2, grab this. This is going to be the best, probably $2,000 you're going to spend in your business for a long time. But yeah.
Hopefully. If we said we were going to give surprises away, so what have I given away so far? Someone's going to get $100 to Kimberly. I'm going to give you $100 voucher from Morris's business because you were great. Jess, I'm going to give you the. What do you want, Jess? What does Jess need? She needs the Crow course. Whether she buys this or not, we'll give Jess the Crow course. So you can sort that out. That's $150.
No problem.
Kim,
Please do.
Emily will give you the brand communication course. Again, you get it as well. You know, like I'll give it to you for now, but if you buy this, you're going to get it again. I'll give you something else if you do that. But who else contributed? Justin, you get to spend time with us, mate. You're good. We're a gift to you already. So, all right. Is there anyone else that I missed? I don't want someone messaging me later going, "I didn't get a prize. I was there." Oh, Josh, I want to do we'll do this with Josh
already
tomorrow.
booked a call with us.
Yeah,
He's
yeah. He's got a cool brand suspension and stuff. Like that'll crush it. So he needs this. Just tell him to buy this. He doesn't need a call. Who else was there? Natasha.
Natasha's putting her hand
Natasha's after a gift.
All right. Well, you can decide that, Chris. What do you want to do?
I haven't seen Natasha make a comment until just now. That's sneaky.
Right. Well, there you go. You can have 2 weeks access to the circle, Tash. That's worth $200. And then at the end of it, if you like it, you can stay. There you go. Bargain. So
awesome. Also, I'll leave the links for everyone one more time. So if you want to book a time to talk directly with Paul and myself, that is this link here. Yeah. But definitely, guys, if you want to have a look at this offer a little bit longer, this Black Friday offer that we're extending for this week, go ahead, look at this here. Think about it. If you have any questions, guys, we're active in the Shopify Australia group. If you're not there, jump in the Shopify Australia group on Facebook. That's our free group. If you're not, that's where we hang out a lot throughout the day. Message myself, Paul. You got any questions about any of the stuff before we kick off? Go for it. But that offer, I believe, will grow.
Message Chris McLean. He's on holiday still. Just message him.
yeah. Bother Chris McLean while he's in Thailand. Yeah. So, no worries.
I was going to say too. So, like we said, we include access to the. So our ecom circle has 2 programs. We've got our inner circle, which is it's kind of go really fast, move really quick, make lots of money. That's called our inner circle. And then we got a thing called just community. So if you just want to go and hang out inside the circle, like that's an option we have. Literally $100 a week. Again, like I said, we include that for 8 weeks with this. So it's worth like $800. So you're effectively getting a thing for $1,200. So, but for people that are like, yeah, I'd like to get out of the free places and go hang around the big kids, like you can start $100, right? So, I think we're good. Glad my voice died. I've survived another 5 minutes. Maybe I need some tea. Kimberly,
yeah, I think you do. That's what I was going to say. Thank you everyone for listening in. By all means, you can come to next week's as well. Just because you came on once doesn't mean you can't be on next week. We have a lot of people who are in the circle here anyway who jump in. So yeah, feel free to engage with us, guys.
Thanks everyone. Appreciate you all.
Thanks.
See you soon. Bye.